First part, before the skit, because intro and skit has my voice and my sort of like reflections on the view of what the home is. And like where intro has like, well, home is basically a place. Not a place, it's the feeling that you feel safe around the people, that you feel, all those positive things.
Right.
These people won't harm you. Whereas in the skit, it tells that, but if you bring the wrong people to the table, you might face the problems, which
Right.
you might not know. And well, the whole thing about this whole album is the first part before the skit is the happy times when you enjoy your life at fullest, and you don't treat your home like that. You just like go out, meet new people. And I found that for me personally, doing this is emotionally drainful.
Joyful.
Oh, it's like draining me emotionally.
Draining you.
Yeah, just like meeting all the time new people, and that's what happened with me pretty much when I ended up in Edinburgh. So meeting all new people all the time throughout the month was like very exhausting for me, which kind of eventually like landed to the thing that I got a crush into the wrong person that kind of like cracked me after all, and I was like that. And after this skit part of the album, it says that like, look, you will feel this, you will feel kind of like bad after all, but hey, you have to like keep it up. And like that's, for example, the 6 tracks, the Think About Others, is basically about like a reminiscing moments of you and like your let's say like past connection.
Yeah.
And addictions is like what it says, and like everything else is just like a comeback pretty much. And that's why it's like really personal, because I felt it that way, and I'm like, I'm gonna represent it.
All right, here is the transition.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's about like the drums.
What is No Way Out about?
No Way Out is when everything crashes in your life. Like you don't feel yourself alive.
So 1 a.m. is
1 a.m. is more about, you have this chill time and everything, like you feel relaxed, and then out of nowhere you can like, boom, something will hit. The life will give you the problems just to remind you that, hey, you don't have to like, relax. Hello. And that's what I meant by that. All those like emotional problems come very unexpectedly. Like a generic example, like the breakup. Sometimes you might not kind of like wait for it. You might not face it. You might think like that everything is fine, but at some point you might just get a text or a call, and you're like, gone. But it can be anything, to be fair. Like an unexpected, let's say, like you get the call from your friend, and your friend tells you like, hey, I'm leaving like next week. Well, like you had plans with this friend next week, but like you cannot have them anymore. So like, yeah, that was the whole thing about it. It's just to remind that we have the problems that like we can face with the people, and this like emotional distress kind of stuff.
Yeah. So this is like
the two sides of the coin, yeah, pretty much.
So this is kind of meant to be when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't like the distress, yeah. It will live, yeah.
So if we were to like take a general kind of theme or pattern of the album from start to finish,
it's okay. Let's start with the first track, right?
Okay.
So the first track, intro, is pretty much where I entail what the home is, how it feels, what the feeling, what it should be for me. The energy is explaining this feeling pretty much. Like you are energized, you're happy in this moment, you have everything which you can even imagine with these people. You're feeling yourself the best you can ever feel. The 1 a.m. is when you get used to it. It's like relaxed. You do the same thing all the time, but you're enjoying it this time. And then suddenly there's some problem can like just face you. The problem can be anything. Like I mentioned, it can be a simple text about breaking up, or more like it was mine case, for example. And yeah, and then like these problems hit you, but the problem doesn't come at once. Like, you have various things, others on your mind. So this like thoughts just, clash you and cover you. And the no way out, it represents this feeling of panic,
Mm.
of like the problematic behavior. That's why the sounds there are so odd and so creepy, because you feel yourself like you're lost and you don't know where you are.
Okay.
This kid is meant to show that like why this happened. So
Right.
if you bring wrong people to the table, you just like you feel like this happened because you care too much, you put too much of your emotional energy there to them, but you didn't care about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where the sixth track comes in, where it tells you that you still have memories for these people, because you cannot, when people tell the stuff, when, well, you can just like forget about it, but you cannot forget the thing that has been with you for a good while. It
Right.
has to take time to heal. And that's where comes the addiction part. You might think, well, to cover up, you have to do something with it, and it can be an addiction. It can be anything, like starting from the alcohol, cigarettes,
Mm.
drugs, whatever it can be. And this is just like represents it, that you have to like run away from it. And then the girl you is basically a relief from this thought that, well, this might not be the case. I have to
Right.
like work it out myself. And this track is like, an uplifting bring back. And the nice track is pretty much when you find yourself back into that 1 a.m. state, that is all good. Like I'm healed, I'm fine, I worked on myself. And
Mm.
changes represents the final thoughts that you have to change yourself so you can face this new thing.
So BB is bringing back.
It's more like a bye-bye
Bye
statement.
bye. Okay.
Yeah. Bye-bye to the all yourself.
All right.
So you're changing yourself, not to like, you're not adapting to a problem, you're solving them, but you are kind of like changing yourself so you can be more mentally, kind of mentally stronger to face them if they
Mm.
will hit you again.
And last question. Um, the cover. What is the
The cover is the house from Lancaster.
okay?
It is kind of far away from where it's been taken. I mean, the quality was a bit odd, but I asked my friend, who is frankly a designer. So asking like, look, I have this picture and I want it to be this and that. He's like, cool, but the picture quality is a bit odd. I'm like, I was like, just try. Soften it, do whatever was it, just try. He's like, okay. And yeah, I was like, great stuff. And this home, well, this building, I should say, because I've never been there.
Yeah.
It was like, the building was located off, like, so we have the river, we have the bridges and stuff, in Lancaster. And now on the place where I was usually sitting on the bench with my friends or alone, I was like constantly looking at it. And it was like, this building kind of like
Yeah.
represented this like nostalgic kind of like vibe to me. So I had to like, memorize it as it is and like put it. And the reason why one house is like that, they're like facing, is because you cannot have positive moments in your life without negatives, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
And that's what I try to represent there.
Awesome.
And the O in the dome in the cover is square. It was unintentional.
Okay.
My friend made it,
Yeah.
and it hit me with like how he explained it to me. It was like, well, imagine you're in a cave. Did you try to escape? And I'm like, oh no. That was even better.
Yeah.
It just like happened as it is, and
Mm.
boom, put it on the release.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
For explaining.
Yeah. Um, I think we're coming up on the hour mark,
That's good
so I think this is a good place
to end it.
to end it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Oh, thank you
for
very much.
coming on. Why don't we remind our listeners where they can find your music?
Yeah, they're available on all the platforms. Spotify, Apple Music,
Mm.
Tidal, whoever use it, Amazon Music, whatever. It's everywhere. So you can have a listen to it. I would really appreciate it,
Yeah.
and it would mean me a lot in the first place, of course.
And we'll put links in the description.
It would have been great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll send the
to
link tree.
everything,
Yeah, you
of
feel me?
course. And I should say that if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Music to this podcast, uh, we also have clips on YouTube that you can find, which,
I want to watch more.
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Well, knowing that my friends were there, I was like, oh, damn, I want to see more of that.
yeah. Well, you know, there is a lot more to come, and we will see you guys next time.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.